Okay, this might sound crazy, but Nikola Tesla, yeah, the guy who basically invented the modern world, had an obsession with three numbers: 3, 6, and 9. I'm not talking about some quirky superstition. I mean, he refused to stay in hotel rooms unless the number was divisible by 3. He'd walk around buildings exactly 3 times before entering. And he once said, and I quote, "If you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you would have the key to the universe." Now hold on, because here's where it gets weird. The more you dig into his life, the more these numbers keep showing up. In his routines, his discoveries, even the day he died. And it's not just random. Some people think these numbers might have been guiding him, like signs from the universe, or, get this, what modern spiritual folks call angel numbers. Sounds out there, right? But here's the thing. Tesla wasn't just a genius. He was tuned into something else, something deeper. And today, we're diving into how those mysterious numbers may have shaped his life, his legacy, and even his fortune. So if you're into mind-bending mysteries, hidden codes, and the idea that maybe, just maybe, the universe is leaving clues, yeah, you're going to want to see this through to the end. Let's go. Before we dive down the rabbit hole of Tesla's mysterious number obsession, let's back up for a second. Who exactly was Nikola Tesla? Because yeah, most people know the name, maybe the car brand. But the man behind it? Way more fascinating than most realize. Nikola Tesla was a Serbian-American inventor, engineer, and visionary. And when I say visionary, I mean this guy was thinking 50, 100, even 150 years ahead of his time. He's the reason we have alternating current. You know, the thing that powers every home and building today. And he basically laid the foundation for wireless communication. Radio waves, remote control, even early concepts of radar. That was Tesla, not just some abstract science committee. But here's where it gets interesting. While other inventors of his time, like Edison, were chasing patents and profits, Tesla was chasing patterns. He believed the universe worked like a giant symphony of energy and frequency, and he was just trying to tune into the right wavelength. He was brilliant, but also eccentric, even by genius standards. He barely slept, claimed to receive visions. He once said he could visualize entire machines in his head before ever putting pen to paper. His brain worked on a different bandwidth, plain and simple. And while he changed the world in ways most of us can't even begin to grasp, he also died broke, alone, and largely forgotten by the mainstream. But in recent years, people have started to rediscover him, and they're realizing Tesla might have been one of the most misunderstood minds in modern history. So when a guy like that says something like, "If you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, maybe we shouldn't just brush it off." All right, now let's talk about a concept that's been blowing up lately: angel numbers. If you've ever caught the clock at exactly 11:11, or noticed you keep seeing numbers like 2 out 2 2 2 2, 4 4 4, or even 333 popping up in receipts, license plates, or street addresses, you've already had a brush with this. Angel numbers are part of numerology, the idea that numbers carry specific vibrations and meanings. But in the spiritual world, these repeating numbers are believed to be messages from the universe, or your higher self, or even guardian angels, depending on who you ask. They're like cosmic post-it notes, nudging you, guiding you, or telling you you're on the right path. Let's break it down real quick. 111 is often seen as a sign of alignment or manifestation. 444 might mean you're being protected. And 369? That's considered a sacred sequence. Some even call it a divine code. Now, here's what's wild. Tesla was doing all this way before the internet, TikTok, or numerology influencers ever existed. He wasn't quoting angel number blogs. This guy was living the pattern. His life revolved around the numbers 3, 6, and 9. And he believed they held the ultimate key to the secrets of reality itself. To him, these weren't lucky charms. They were part of the underlying structure of the universe. And what modern spiritual folks now call angel numbers? Tesla may have been one of the first to tap into that frequency without ever needing a trending hashtag to tell him it was meaningful. So whether you see it as metaphysical guidance, pattern recognition, or just a weird coincidence, there's no denying these numbers have power. At least they did in Tesla's world. So now that we've dipped into the concept of angel numbers, let's get into Tesla's actual obsession. And I don't use that word lightly. The numbers 3, 6, and 9. This wasn't a casual preference. This was something that deeply influenced how he lived, worked, and even thought. Let's start with his routines. Tesla was known to walk around a building exactly 3 times before entering. Not once, not twice, 3, every single time. People thought it was an odd habit, maybe even OCD, but to him, it was about aligning with something deeper, something unseen. When he stayed in hotels, he refused to book a room unless the number was divisible by 3. If the room didn't meet that requirement, he simply wouldn't stay. There are even reports of him requesting exactly 18 napkins for dinner, 1 plus 8 equal 9, and he'd use them to polish his silverware and clean everything before he ate. Not because he was germophobic, but because it was part of a personal ritual, always connected to 3, 6, or 9. This wasn't superstition for him. This was systematic, intentional, sacred. Tesla once famously said, "If you only knew the magnificence of the numbers 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe." And when someone like Tesla says that, not a spiritual guru, not a numerologist, but an engineer, an inventor, you start to wonder if he knew something most of us don't. But it goes even deeper. According to people close to him, Tesla structured his entire day, even his mental energy, around these numbers. He believed that 3, 6, and 9 weren't just digits. They were vibrational frequencies that held unique power, a kind of universal rhythm. And he wanted to stay in sync with it. You could even say he saw the world through a numeric filter, not just physically, but energetically. If something didn't fit that numeric harmony, he avoided it. Now, imagine being that intentional with your energy, with every action connected to a greater pattern. That's the level Tesla was operating on. And whether it came from spiritual intuition, mathematical insight, or pure genius, it shaped everything he did. All right, now let's dig into the why behind Tesla's obsession. Because this whole 3-6-9 thing, it's not just spiritual woo-woo or quirky behavior. There's actually a mix of science, math, and ancient numerology that helps explain why these numbers might be more than just digits. Let's start with numerology, which is the belief that numbers carry vibrational energy and deeper symbolic meaning. In this system, 3 is seen as the number of creativity, communication, and expansion, presents harmony, balance, and responsibility, is the number of enlightenment, completion, and universal love. Now connect this back to Tesla, a man known for creative breakthroughs, pursuit of universal harmony, and obsession with understanding the entire cosmic system. Sound familiar? But here's where it gets even crazier. Vortex math. This is a fringe field of study that claims there's a hidden mathematical pattern embedded in everything. From the structure of atoms, the movement of galaxies. And guess which numbers lie outside the usual pattern? That's right. 3, 6, and 9. Let me explain. If you take any number and keep doubling it, you'll notice a repeating pattern when you reduce the digits. This means you add the digits together until you get a single digit, like 1 plus 6 = 7. So, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, and it loops again. That's the standard loop. But guess what numbers are never part of this cycle? 3, 6, and 9. They exist outside the loop. Always. To Tesla, this wasn't a glitch. It was a clue. He believed these numbers were the key to the universe because they weren't part of the physical pattern. They were part of the energetic pattern. The spiritual blueprint. In his mind, 3, 6, and 9 were higher numbers, sacred codes tied to the structure of existence itself. And he wasn't the only one who thought numbers held power. The ancient philosopher Pythagoras, the triangle guy, also believed that numbers were divine and that reality itself was built on numerical harmony. The Egyptians used sacred geometry in their pyramids. The Mayans tracked time with insanely precise number systems. So when Tesla fixated on 3, 6, and 9, he wasn't just making up his own system. He was tapping into something ancient, something hidden in plain sight. Whether you believe in the metaphysics or not, the patterns are undeniable. And when a mind like Tesla's sees meaning in something, it's worth paying attention. Now here's a question that might have already crossed your mind. If Tesla believed so deeply in 3, 6, and 9, did those numbers actually do anything for him? Like, did they bring him wealth, success, real-world results? Well, this part's a little complicated and kind of poetic. Let's start with this. Tesla wasn't motivated by money. He didn't care about it. In fact, he actively avoided it. He gave up huge fortunes by refusing to patent some of his most revolutionary ideas. One of the most infamous stories is how he tore up his royalty contract with George Westinghouse, a deal that, if he had kept it, would have made him a billionaire today. He literally walked away from the money. But that doesn't mean he wasn't aligned with abundance at times in his life. And that's where the 3, 6, 9 pattern starts to show itself again. Let's look at some weird timing coincidences. Tesla's first major patent for the electric arc lamp was filed on March 6, 1885. That's 3-6. He was born at midnight during a lightning storm. On July 10, 1856. Add the digits in that date up. 7 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 plus 5 plus 6 = 28. 2 plus 8 = 10. 1 plus 0 = 1. Not 3, 6, or 9. But look at the time he was born. Midnight. The point between 2 days. A perfect 0 on the clock. Tesla always said his ideas came in bursts of light, energy, or downloads, like he was tuned in. Now let's talk about vibration and wealth. Tesla believed everything in the universe operated on frequency, energy, and vibration. He even said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. In many modern manifestation philosophies, including the law of attraction, this is exactly the same principle. Raise your frequency, align with abundance, and you attract it. Tesla was doing this naturally. When he repeated rituals involving 3, 6, and 9, some believe he was actually aligning his energy with universal patterns, the same way a tuning fork matches a specific pitch. And in those periods of high alignment, that's when Tesla had his most prolific breakthroughs: wireless power, the Tesla coil, remote control, and more. So even if he wasn't stacking cash, he was manifesting ideas. Ideas that literally shaped the future. In that way, 3, 6, and 9 did bring him wealth. Just not in the typical sense. His currency was genius, not gold. His treasure was vision. And those numbers? They were the compass. Okay, now we're stepping into the really eerie part. The part where these numbers start showing up not just in Tesla's habits or beliefs, but scattered all throughout his life like breadcrumbs in a cosmic scavenger hunt. Because once you start looking for 3, 6, and 9 around Tesla, they show up in ways that are hard to ignore. Let's start with where he died. Tesla spent his final years in New York, living in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. Sounds random, right? But do the math. 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 7 equals 15, and then 1 plus 5 equals 6. Boom! There it is. Want more? He filed one of his most famous patents for the Tesla coil on September 22, 1896. That's 922. Add those digits. 9 plus 2 plus 2 equals 13, and 1 plus 3 equals 4. Okay, not quite 3, 6, or 9, but hold up. The patent number? 568, 176. Let's break that down. 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 1 plus 7 plus 6 is 33. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Now I know what you're thinking. All right, that could be coincidence. Fair enough. Let's zoom out. He presented one of his most groundbreaking lectures on the transmission of electrical energy without wires. On May 20th, 1891. That's 5/20/1891. 5 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 plus 9 plus 1 equals 26, then 2 plus 6 equals 8. Again, not directly 3, 6, or 9. But the address of the venue? It was at 35 South 5th Avenue. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Okay. Still close, but no jackpot. But here's the kicker. Tesla was 36 years old when he gave that lecture. That's 3 and 6, side by side. Not convinced yet? Here's one that's almost cinematic. Tesla once claimed he received a vision, a complete blueprint for one of his inventions, while staring at the sun's reflection in a puddle. He described it as a sudden burst of insight, like lightning. Guess how many minutes he had reportedly been sitting there meditating? 9. Exactly 9 minutes. And if you fast forward to today, the fascination doesn't stop. Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla Motors, once cryptically tweeted, Tesla believed that 3, 6, and 9 were the key to the universe. No context. Just that. Letting it simmer. It's like these numbers have become part of Tesla's digital afterlife. Always showing up, always drawing people back in. Now, skeptics might say, we're just playing number games here, cherry-picking data. And sure, that's a valid take. But ask yourself this. Why do these specific numbers keep appearing? In key moments, in key places, over and over again? Maybe it's just coincidence. Or maybe it's what Tesla believed all along, that the universe speaks a language, and 3, 6, and 9 are the alphabet. So after all this, the routines, the rituals, the science, the coincidences, you might be wondering, what does any of this mean for me? What are we supposed to take away from Tesla's obsession with 3, 6, and 9? Well, here's the thing. You don't have to walk around buildings 3 times or wash your hands 18 times a day to tap into what Tesla was doing. What we can learn is deeper than just mimicking rituals. It's about paying attention to patterns and aligning your actions with intention. Tesla's life teaches us something powerful, that energy matters. Not just the electricity he worked with, but the energy you carry every day, the focus you bring, the thoughts you repeat, the meaning you assign to the little things. To him, numbers weren't just tools, they were keys to understanding reality. And whether you look at that spiritually, scientifically, or just symbolically, the message is the same. There is a pattern in everything. Maybe the takeaway here isn't about numbers at all. Maybe it's about alignment. Tesla lived with purpose. He didn't stumble through life reacting to everything. He designed his day. He moved with rhythm. He saw himself as part of something bigger, a system with rules, frequencies, and maybe secret codes. And we can do that too. You don't have to believe in angel numbers to appreciate the value of rituals or structure or mindset. Maybe it's as simple as choosing numbers, symbols, or ideas that help you stay focused and tuned in. Because when you move through life on purpose, when your actions are aligned with your values and energy, everything starts to click. Tesla's story reminds us that genius isn't just about IQ. It's about awareness, intent, belief. So whether you start seeing 3s, 6s, and 9s all over the place after this, or just walk away thinking a little deeper about how you move through the world, either way, you're already tapping into the same mindset that guided one of the most brilliant thinkers in history, and that's a frequency worth tuning into. So, let's bring it full circle. Nikola Tesla wasn't just playing around with numbers, he was living by them. 3, 6, and 9 weren't random digits to him. They were sacred, intentional, the foundation of how he thought, how he created, and maybe how he tapped into something bigger than any of us can fully explain. We've looked at his strange routines, his obsession with patterns, the science and numerology behind it all, and the crazy coincidences that just keep showing up. And even if you're still skeptical, even if you think it's all just a string of lucky numbers and cosmic chance, you've got to admit, there's something weirdly consistent here. Something that makes you go, huh, what if? Because that's what this video is really about, getting curious. It's not about convincing you to start folding napkins in groups of 18 or rewriting your phone number to match Tesla's vibes. It's about paying attention, finding meaning, choosing to see the invisible threads that just might be connecting everything. And maybe, just maybe, taking a page from Tesla's book and asking a question no one else is brave enough to ask. So now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Tesla was onto something real? Or was it just eccentric genius at work? Have you ever had repeating numbers show up in your life in strange ways? Drop your stories in the comments. I read every single one. Seriously, this is the part I love most. Hearing your perspectives, theories, and wild synchronicities. If this video sparked something in you, give it a like. It helps a ton. Hit that subscribe button if you want more mind-expanding content like this. And hey, maybe even share this with someone who's deep into numbers, energy, or just loves a good mystery. Because in the end, whether you believe in 3, 6, 9, or not at all, one thing's for sure, Nikola Tesla made us all look a little closer at the universe and wonder what secrets might be hiding in plain sight.